All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Last Call. Tonight's topic, we discuss the dangers of smoking cigarettes and the legalization of marijuana. Without further ado, let me introduce your host, ECW Original, the Sandman.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is show number 3, and along with me is Baby Doll, of course. Say hi, Baby Doll.
Hey, how is everybody? Glad to be here. Thank you.
She's always so politically correct.
I know, huh? Yeah, she'll learn over time, though.
Yeah, we got a great topic today. We're going to bring it. We're probably going to have a special guest, which I don't really want to talk about until he calls in. But he's the man that gave me a lot of the facts that I know about marijuana today. So we're going to start out with why they first initially made marijuana illegal. Was a man named John DuPont and John Rockefeller. They both were senators at the time. They put it as a rider on the back of a tax bill. If anybody doesn't know, whenever our Congress, our Senate passes a bill, there's all these other little things that are on the bill. They just might be talking about the one main issue. But besides that, they call it tax riders on the bill, and one of them was to make illegal the growing of hemp, which all those wagons that they blazed the West with were made of hemp. They weren't made of cotton. So this guy John DuPont was making a fabric called nylon, and he couldn't sell his nylon if everybody could grow hemp. So what did they do? They stuck their heads together, and just like a bunch of crooks would do, or criminals would do, they outlawed something that should be legal. There's too many medical reasons that marijuana should be legal for it not to be, and besides the fact that there's so much land that people are getting paid in our Congress, in our Senate, in our government. They're getting paid not to grow anything on this property. They're getting paid by our government. They're getting subsidies. What I propose is that we should make hemp legal, and we should start growing it everywhere in the United States. And I believe that could be part of a fixture of getting out of this economic downturn.
I totally agree with you on that. Actually, they've been talking about, here in Oregon at least, legalizing it to where you can buy it in liquor stores, and there would be a tax on it, just like alcohol.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I know in Colorado, it almost passed in Colorado. It almost passed in Las Vegas. The last time that it was voted on, I believe it lost 52 to 48 in both of those. I wouldn't say I don't know. I think it might have been just Denver. I'm not sure about all of Colorado, but it would have been legal to carry less than an ounce of marijuana with you. And I would think in the next 10 years that I think it's definitely. I was on a talk show last night, and we were really talking about a lot about alcohol and all different kinds of drugs. And if you really think about it, on my barometer, I think alcohol is way worse than marijuana is. Alcohol lowers your inhibitions, and you will do anything when you're drunk. Just watch TMZ and watch me on the show on World's Dumbest Criminals or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
But alcohol just lowers your inhibitions, and people just do crazy stuff on alcohol. When you smoke pot, you just get mellow, you laugh a little bit, and you get hungry.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I have ADHD and bipolar, and I'd rather sit here and smoke than take a whole bunch of pills and get addicted to pills.
Yeah, pills are, yes. But, I mean, without our modern medicine, we wouldn't have been able to raise our life expectancy. From the year 1900, life expectancy was 45. Now, you go back to Roman times, life expectancy was only 20. Now we have it almost at 80. But with that raising our life expectancy, we get better. We make up better chemicals, and those chemicals end up on the street somehow.
Yeah, I agree. And I do want to welcome anybody who wants to call in tonight. They can call in at 646-716-5329. We'll be taking calls throughout the show, as we always do.
Baby, now, what do you think's worse, marijuana or alcohol? Or let's throw in something else. Let's say, I don't want to say like heroin or something like that, but let's just say opiates.
I can personally attest to, because of the alcoholism, that ruined my marriage, because Sam actually loved Crown Royal more than he loved me. So I can personally attest because Sam and I both smoked, and he drank a lot, and that's what ended our marriage. I mean, we would have still been married, but in fact, it would have been like 23 years this year. In July, it would have been 23 years. But I could personally attest, my dad was an alcoholic. He was 35 almost years whenever he had passed away. I know that I would much rather be around people that are smoking than drinking, just for the fact of you don't throw up, you don't act all stupid, and then somebody doesn't get arrested. I mean, half the time whenever you're with a lot of people that are drinking, somebody's going to be arrested.
Oh, I agree, especially about I can't be around people that are drinking if I'm not drinking. I'm like, oh my God, is this how I act? And I know, I mean, I could be like stupid. I think I can, you know what I mean? I mean, I've done some dumb shit in my life, you know what I mean? And a lot of it's been alcohol-induced, you know what I mean? But I can be stupid without alcohol. But I don't like to be in a bar if I'm not, I'm not your designated driver type, let's just say that.
Right, and that's my job. That's why I didn't hardly ever drink, because look at the people that I were around, or that I was around for a long time, was just because they did do a lot of drinking, partying and stuff, and I always did the driving, and even now I still do the driving.
Oh, okay.
The personal chauffeur, baby doll.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm still around. I mean, look at all the guys that I worked with and that I've known in like the past 25, 30 years. A lot of them aren't with me right now because they mix alcohol and a lot of other stuff, and that's probably one of the reasons why I'm still around. Because, I mean, I limited my stuff a lot because I knew of the history of my family. So I've always been kind of like the good girl, and very seldom did you see me have more than like one, maybe two drinks at the very, very most. And I've never really done anything else except for smoke. I've never ever done cocaine. Never did it. Just because I know my personality is like really, really addictive, and it would have just shot me off the edge.
I want to know if there's anybody out there listening that's listening that marijuana is legal where they're from. Like, who called us last week? Do you remember the girl that called us from, was she from the Netherlands or something like that? Or somewhere in Europe she was from. And I know pot's legal there. I know pot's like legal in right next to, like, Australia. They don't ask you about it. New Zealand, they definitely don't ask you about it.
Hey, brother.
Most places in the world, they could care less about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Actually, I do believe we have our special guest on the line at this time.
Lovely. Introduce him, Corey.
I do believe.
Minister of Marijuana.
Yeah, I do believe we have the Minister of Marijuana, the whole fucking show, Mr. One of a Kind himself, Rob Van Dam, on the line.
Good evening, everybody.
What up?
Hey, man, how's it going, man? First time on the Sandman's last call. What an honor.
Thank you so much.
You're actually the first guest.
We need somebody to educate us about marijuana and about. Remember when we used to ride down the road and you used to tell me them stats? And you know what? I think I might still have your book. Did I give that book back to you?
Probably not.
Probably not. I got to look for it in my library somewhere. But just some amazing stats that you could give us off the top of your head. What was it, 4,000 something? You know, tell us about.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
Cigarettes and marijuana. How many chemicals are in a cigarette?